As the 2015-16 legislative session comes to a close, it's time to look forward to 2017-18. MASSP has had a lot of success over the last 2 years, in part because we started the session with a clear set of proactive priorities. Now it's time to start setting priorities for the next 2 years. There are always more important issues than time to work on them. With input from the MASSP Board of Directors, we've pared the list down to 10 possible issues we think we could make progress on over the next 2 years. But every issue we work on costs political capital, so it's important that we prioritize. That's where we need your help. The rest of this video is going to give you a bit more detail about each issue listed in the survey, so you can make an informed decision about what is most important to you. So watch the rest of the video, think through the issues, and take the survey. The first possible priority is pretty self-explanatory. MASSP would seek to make PSAT 8-9 our 8th grade assessment. To be clear, the goal would be to replace MSTEP in ELA and math. Understand, though, that because of federal requirements, we would still have to have some components of MSTEP, like science and social studies. Michigan's substitute teacher shortage has been a problem, and it's getting worse. Many things are possible contributors to this situation, and there's no single solution. But expanding the pool of possible subs is one place to start. For example, Michigan could lower the required number of credit hours that subs have to have, and allow retirees to come back and substitute teach for a greater amount of time without impacting their retirement. The Michigan legislature commissioned an adequacy study that concluded, surprise, surprise, that school funding in Michigan is inadequate. The specific recommendations of the study provide us a jumping-off point for addressing the funding needs of Michigan schools, including a foundation increase for all schools and increasing the individual foundations for at-risk and ELL students, who are more expensive to educate. Where would we get the money? Well, higher education is diverting hundreds of millions of dollars out of the school aid fund every year. That gives us a good place to start. Implementing Michigan's educator evaluation law is a heavy lift, and principals need continued support, particularly in the form of state funding for training and tools. Continuing on the topic of evaluation, the requirement to use student growth data has caused plenty of angst and confusion among educators across the state. This anxiety is only going to get worse as 2018 approaches, when growth becomes 40% of every evaluation and schools have to start using state assessment data. If we wait until 2018, it may be too late to change the law, but taking some steps in advance could help reduce concerns and prevent problems. Expanding post-secondary credit options for students has long been an MASSP priority, but with each college or university allowed to have different policies for accepting or awarding credit, providing students with opportunities isn't enough. Universal credit acceptance policies, for example requiring that a 3 on an AP exam get you credit at any college or university in Michigan, would help students succeed and makes things easier for schools. It's not easy to provide high-quality DPPD, especially on a shoestring budget. As districts establish evaluation systems focused on professional growth, principals are going to have another challenge, providing their staff with the support they need to improve. Like many things in public policy, putting in place systems of support for professional development takes time, so starting this work before it becomes urgent may be crucial to success. Districts now need to provide 180 days of instruction, but have little flexibility to adjust their calendars. By providing more options for districts to start school earlier in August, and eliminating some of the restrictions that prevent districts from counting school days as instructional days, we can make the job easier. As school budgets have shrunk, so have the supports that schools traditionally provide for students to ensure their mental health and well-being. This includes things like school social workers and counselors. And the increasing prevalence of student mental health issues is putting a spotlight on this issue. MASSP could work to expand support for students and districts, including expanding successful pilot programs the state already has in place that help close this gap. It's tough to use data to inform instruction without a data management system that incorporates all the necessary information. Tracking student growth for teacher evaluations has moved this issue from the back burner to the front for many districts. A single statewide data management system that incorporated state and local assessments, managed student growth data, and provided educators with useful analytics would be a powerful tool that many schools simply don't have access to now. We know ranking these issues is a tough job. Every one of them is important, but we have to make choices. So help us figure out what's most important to you as principals. We'd like your input on all 10 issues, but even if you only rank your top 3 or 5, we appreciate your time. The survey closes on November 23rd, so make your voice heard, and thank you.